Believe it or not, today's actually the first day in a long time that it's not raining. However, I have to go to class today, so I can't enjoy any of this nice weather. To wash my truck, preferably, but she's covered in water. She's going to be covered in more road grime, as you can see down on the bottom here. She's kind of gross from the highway. So, yeah, hopefully I get out of class soon enough to give her a good bath, but we'll see. But off to class now. Just when I think it's going to be a good day, this happens. It's kind of nice over there, but this giant black glooming cloud of death above me. Not as bad as Harvey or Irma or Jose or whatever for hitting the south right now, but that ain't good. So the focus of today's video is going to be more of a question. So as you can see down here, my check engine light's on, and I don't quite know why. I went on vacation, was gone for about a week, and came back, and the minute I turned it on, this light came back on, and it wasn't on when I left. While I was gone, I left it with my mechanic because I needed brakes to be done, and I didn't have the time or really patience to do the brakes at the time because I was packing, I was leaving, and by the time I realized my brakes needed to be done, I didn't have time to do them. So I left it with my mechanic. Brakes are fine now, but now, for some reason, this light's on. Now, to pre-state why I'm not incredibly worried about this, when I bought the truck, about a month after I bought it, the same issue happened, where the light came on, it was on for maybe a week and a half, then the light went off, and I didn't know why. With some research, I realized it was what people will call a ghost sensor, and which is where something in the ECU just triggers a false light. However, I don't think that might be the case. In other videos, you may have seen a startup of my truck and it's louder than stock. What I think it is, and by using a scanner, it has stated that it's an O2 sensor. So I think that it's a sensor in the exhaust that just isn't quite agreeing with the truck. Now, I'm not feeling a loss of power, nothing strange when it comes on. Turns right over, still has the same amount of power, no issue. So I'm not quite sure what it could be. I do need an oil change, so it may just be cranky because it needs an oil change. I use fuel stabilizer through it. I've been running constant fuel. I haven't been switching up my fuel. It's just basically been, very consistent. It went off for about a month, and now it's back on again. Now I'm forced with many options of what I could do here. I could either take off the muffler or the exhaust. It's not really a muffler, but the exhaust. I could take the exhaust off and try and tinker with it then. But in that case, I have the risk of breaking something and doing something that quite frankly, I don't know how to do. And I don't want to make it worse than it has to be. Secondly, I could just run it and assume that it is a phantom sensor and just let it take itself out over time and have it run, which is what I think I'm going to do. If you guys in the comments have any idea on why that this light is on, I'd be greatly appreciated to know that. I am going to do some basic maintenance. As you've probably seen, it's September, snow's coming soon, so I'm going to start doing, winterizing steps with, windshield fluid, coolant, fresh oil, fresh plugs, a little bit of everything just to make sure that everything's fine for winter. That video is probably going to be a video in its own, but it's not going to be too interesting. It's something that basically I think that everybody should do. So this video is going to be short. I don't have a huge amount to do or amount to talk about in this video, but that's kind of just a question I guess I have is like, why is this sensor randomly coming on and coming off? And I figure instead of trying to fish through 104 different, crappy blog sites where I can't find the right thing, I hope that some, YouTube or Instagram mechanic can try and help me out and figure it out. And if it cross-checks with some of the stuff that I have found and some consistent stuff, then, I'll go from there. But for now, I think I'm just going to run it until I notice that there's an issue. Another very quick little thing, it's not too much of an issue, but just something that I've noticed with the truck. It's a 5.4 liter V8. It's the XLT Triton. It's an 04. And from what I've heard and of other similar trucks that I've ridden in, my truck for some reason does have less power. Now, It's not from the light that I just mentioned. It's just always been like that. I've had the truck about 3 months now, and that's just how I've noticed it is. For example, in first gear, when I try and take off and I do, say, a dig off of a stop sign or something, it's not great. And I don't know why that is. It takes a while to gain speed, but as soon as it goes from first, shifts into second, and then it starts spooling through, or not spooling because it's not a turbo, but it's not lagging at all. It burns through the RPM, the tachometer goes up, the speedometer goes way up, and you know, I'm at 60, 70, 80 before you even know it. But I'm not really quite sure why first gear is so bad. If you also have an idea on that, let me know, because I've heard that the 5.4 liters are supposed to have a phenomenal first gear and a lot of power. Honestly, I've heard a lot of things saying they're similar to Hemi power in first, which don't know how much I believe, but it's a thing. Where I work, I drive a V8 or a V10, sorry, I drive a V8 10 Triton dump truck, and it has similar power to that. And when I say that, I mean like from the launch, it picks up similar to that. So I don't know if that's just the truck, the Ford transmission, the exact same year. It may just be the Ford transmission of this year, or I might just have something wrong, but I'm honestly not too sure. I'm also dabbling with the fact that I have heavier tires on the truck than stock, and a few extra little heavier bits. I have upgraded shocks in the rear that push down a little bit more. So it may be the fact that that's why it doesn't have power. I'm more concerned because when it's raining, I don't spin at all. And that seems strange to me. With a truck with this much power, it should spin. And from factory, it has close to 500 to 600 horsepower, I think, from what I've read. And it only weighs like 7,000 pounds. So I don't know why it's not doing as much. Why? You scared? So I was about to end the video, and I was just making dinner, kind of hanging out before, and a loud crack of thunder just scared the crap out of me. My mom left her sandals out like a dummy. So that was actually terrifying, and I don't know why I did that. But like I said, it looked like a good day this morning, and I was like down the road from the car wash, about to wash my truck. Now I'm glad I didn't. Alright, well, that's going to be the video. It's going to be short, sweet, and more of just a question. So, I'm going to eat dinner now because I'm hungry. It's like 6:30. Going to eat dinner, let that sit, and then go to the gym. So, that's pretty much going to be the video. So, thank you guys for watching. And if you can help me with my truck problems, I'd be greatly appreciative of that. So, if you have any idea, comment that down below. So, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.